Greetings and welcome to Hexed Countered. I'm Joe. I have been lucky enough to receive a preview version of Flashpoint Campaign's Cold War from On Target Simulations and Matrix Games, and I'm going to give you a look at the game. Now, it's kind of a cold look, fittingly for a game named Cold War, meaning I have not really actually even played it yet. So this will be relying largely on my experience with the predecessors, most recently Southern Storm. Now, this game does include all of the content from Southern Storm, but it has a much larger scope as it covers the entire German front in that same war. So it includes all the scenarios and everything from Southern Storm. Now I think it's Southern Storm. Anyway, which covered only a slice of the West German area. This covers the entirety. And so you've got over 100 scenarios and 10 campaigns and a bunch of stuff. And at this point, the tutorial's not ready. The game itself will be released on November 20th. So get about a month here ahead of time, a look at this. And I'm going to jump right in here. We're going to go new scenario. And you can see that it's not, I don't think the full 100 are in here yet. And the tutorials, I've been told, don't work yet. But you can see there are a lot of things in here. And I'm going to pick, let's see. All right, let's see here. You know what I'm looking for. I just have to find it. There it is. It's right at the top. Well, not exactly. Not exactly at the top, but close to the top. This is Go West, Young Man. And this is D+0, so first day of the war. The 20th of July, 1989. 1,000 hours to 1,600 hours, so 4 hours. And it's U.S. forces against the East Germans at Bad Neustadt. And I'll quickly read this. I know some of you don't like it when I read stuff, but you can skip ahead. For the first 7 months of 1989, tension between the U.S. and the Soviet Union has increased dramatically. The U.S. continues to push for sanctions against the Soviet Union, which are causing significant issues for the Soviet economy. In July 1989, the Warsaw Pact conducted major exercises in the Ukraine region of the Soviet Union. Following the exercises, units supposedly returned to their normal bases. However, due to historically poor weather, Soviets were able to move many units westward into East Germany and Czechoslovakia. Reports have been coming into the West German and American intelligence services for the last week. On July 15th, NATO started recalling units, and 2 days later, some began moving to their war plan positions. Intelligence experts believe that war might be coming, and that the Warsaw Pact could launch an attack as early as July 24th. On July 16th, Soviet Spetsnaz and sleepers posing as citizens worried about provoking the Warsaw Pact began conducting demonstrations across France and Germany. In some cases, explosions occurred around NATO troop staging areas, including the area near Frankfurt, where the U.S. Fifth Corps was getting ready. Delayed by these attacks, the U.S. Fifth Corps started preparing to move into positions late on July 19th. The first units to move were the elements of the 11th ACR. While some personnel and equipment was still missing, 11th ACR started arriving at their war positions around midnight on the 19th. Orders suggested that the earliest the Warsaw Pact could initiate hostilities would be the 24th. Minutes later, Warsaw Pact aircraft took off from airfields across East Germany and Czechoslovakia and headed west to strike at targets across NATO. They were joined by missile strikes and more Spetsnaz attacks. Lead ground elements approached and crossed the inner German border. The war had begun. This is by Mike Johnstone, and the map is by William van der Sterren. And as I said, it's the U.S. on the NATO side and the East Germans on the Warsaw Pact side. It says 6 hours. Maybe I did screw that up. Yeah, 1,000 to 1,600, I guess, right? That would be 6 hours. And it's Bad Neustadt an der Saale, West Germany. It's a 20 by 15 kilometer map, which is considered small size and easy difficulty, which is why I chose this one. Okay, so let's play. Hit this and get it moving. All right, the computer opponent. I will be the NATO commander. You can see the options. You can do head-to-head hot seat. You can do play by email, or you could do computer plays both sides, where you can just watch action unfold. We will play, I guess. No, maybe we'll keep it on recruit for now. It's been a while since I've played Southern Storm. I really need to check that because I feel like that's wrong. But I'm going to check it right now, as a matter of fact. It is Southern Storm, and Red Storm, of course, was the first game. So this is the next iteration. It's been vastly improved, according to what I've seen and heard about it. So let's, I'm just going to leave everything checked, I guess. Although it might be interesting to turn off enemy units are always visible. Get some fog of war. If desired, the side played by the computer may use a battle plan. We'll go with random selection. I don't know what the various battle plans are anyway. Emergency resupply automatic, allow gathering of full information of visible enemy units. See unspotted victory point. I guess we'll do that. We've got custom. If you do veteran, what do you get? Okay, so you don't get. Let's just play veteran, right? Why not? If I get my butt whooped, we'll know why. Okay, Lieutenant Colonel Crandall. Welcome to the Go West Young Man scenario. You are commanding NATO forces and have 6 hours to accomplish the task described in your mission briefing. Your forces are composed of 6 groups of units, extensive descriptions of which are found in the operations, P&I, and fire support staff reports. Those are over here. Let's see. Information about the opposing forces are available from the Intel staff report. Winning, you are responsible for assets worth 6,365 victory points. Victory is obtained by securing victory point locations and inflicting disproportionate casualties on the enemy. A victory obtained at excessive cost may be severely downgraded, so we need to keep our units healthy. Check the victory status and conditions report for victory level details. You may now drag and drop your starting units into any group setup hex, subject to the usual stacking limits. Any improved positions may be moved by you. Any engineered obstacles or minefields have been placed by the scenario designer and may not be moved. Good luck. All right, let's proceed. Well, here we can check our mission briefing. Provides a nice helpful link. You can also get that from over here. So 11th Armored Cavalry Regiment, the 11th ACR mission briefing. Brigadier General Crandall. Well, weren't we a lieutenant colonel a moment ago? Anyway, like in the recent training exercises, Warsaw Pact units were close to the border and looking ready to go. To the east of Fulda and across the border, the East German 7th Tank Division appeared to be ready to go. Squadrons moved forward, went much smoother than the forward movement of the other 2 squadrons in 11th ACR. The troops arrived at their locations around midnight at 0350. The tired troopers heard the roar of airplanes heading west. Radio reports on the ACR command net soon indicated a heavy Soviet push towards Fulda. The famous Fulda Gap. Okay. Our mission, destroy enemy divisional reconnaissance forces, delay enemy advance until facing more than one enemy battalion. We get no attachments and detachments, no coordinating instructions. Our commander notes, hit the initial Rexy elements hard and take some pot shots at the 1st Echelon Tank Battalion. However, I need you intact as much as possible for operations later in the day. And we have our coordinates there. You can see our area here of operations. There's the enemy. They'll be coming right in through the gap here towards Bad Neustadt an der Saale over here. You can see all kinds of information in here. Your sit rep, right? What do we got? We've got K Troop. And you can see their readiness, morale, ammo, what they have, right? So our tank headquarters section has an M1A1 Abrams and an M577A2. That's a command vehicle. And we have a couple of Bradleys here in our cavalry scout team, 2 reconnaissance and 2 APCs, 2 cavalry scout teams, and 2 M3A1s. And we have several of those. And we have some tanks. Okay, 7th K Troop. Now, troop in cavalry terms is a company, if you're unfamiliar. This would be, that would have 4 M1A1 Abrams, so the early Abrams model here. And then down here at the very bottom, we've got another HQ and some self-propelled Arty. Okay, engineering. We don't have any engineering assets. Okay. Moderate acceptable losses. Preferred standoff range is 4 hexes. You can customize that. Fire discipline is hold until fired on. Relocate when enemy is spotted. Direct support priority all. Movement concealment, avoid contamination. Minefield contact in stride breach. Dismount from end of path 0 and dismount from enemy 0. Carriers when empty will hide nearby. That makes sense. SOP preset. For the infantry fighting vehicle, stay and fight, modified. And for the tanks, it's also stay and fight, modified. And you can see all of these. Do or die, etc. Then our artillery, organic matter. Okay, I'm going to close this out. And well, let's look at the emitters. No emitter. Okay. All right, proceed. Now, if we click on a unit, you can see this in these areas that light up. That tells you where you can deploy them. You can see what the unit is, of course. You can right-click on it and get its dashboard. Right, so this will tell us all about it. We've got 2 cavalry scout teams with their M3A1 Bradleys. Right, key ammo 100%, 99% readiness, 70% morale. Range to their headquarters is 8. Hold, and their orders currently are hold in Hex 2020 from around 10 a.m., 1000 hours. So we have an SOP of IFV, stay and fight, modified, relocate when after taking indirect fire losses. And our movement is concealment. And if we click this button, we can change that up, right? So you can say do or die. Here's our standoff range. It's 0. Combat. Fire discipline is maximum range. As soon as they're in range, maximum range of our weapons, we are weapons free basically. Relocate when taking indirect fire losses. Direct support priority is all. Movement. We talked about the minefields. We want to avoid nuclear, biological, chemical areas. That makes sense. Yeah, carriers when empty, support passengers, right? We have these IFVs, we should use them. So I'm not going to change that per se, but we can take a look here at some of this stuff. So here's the river, which is, we've got some bridges, of course, but it does provide us with a little bit of a natural barrier. Then you've got your victory point locations. There's one here for 1,000 and one here for 2,000. Here's the town, of course. And then somewhere up in this area, we don't know where, but this is East Germany. There's our inter-German border right here, this red line. So our enemy forces will be entering via this route and probably coming down perhaps through these forests, perhaps down the road, at least initially. Over here we have some bridges that look like they're out. And what else do we have? Whoops. Okay. Now, if you hover long enough, you'll get information about the hex and so on, right? It tells you there, this is hex 3118. Its elevation is 2, 65% cover, 90% concealment. What's the difference, right? Cover makes it hard to hit, is how I would put it, and concealment makes it hard to be seen. So hard to be hit is cover, hard to be seen is concealment. So they're in a spot where they're not easily spotted, and their cover is reasonable. You know, they can still be hit, but they got that's decent cover. And mobility is 81%, which impacts how easily they can move. If we come up here, this guy looks like he's sitting on a road. 67% concealment. I mean cover, 92% concealment, 80% mobility. And then we have bridges and so on. This is a hexed-based game. You can kind of see some hex right here. The hex grid's not on, but this is hex-based. And then down here we have one of our tank units. This is K Troop 8. Yeah, K. Yep, K. And it's in decent cover and these pretty good concealment and low mobility. You can see 16%. That's hex 2118. Okay. So the way this works is you can give your units orders, and they will and then once you basically finish that, you hit this start, which starts the OODA loop, and at the same time the enemy has entered their orders, and you'll get that order loop, which will be processed. Your units will move and execute their orders, and things will unfold where you won't actually have control. So you're just going to be, you're going to give your orders, and just like would happen in real life, you're going to have to wait, and your troops will perform the orders you've given them. And once things happen, they encounter the enemy, shots are going to be fired probably, and you're going to have to give them new orders when your loop is completed. And you can see here your command cycle chronology. So we are the green, the enemy is the red. You can see their command loop is longer than ours. So they're going to have longer times between the times when they can give commands, which is a great feature because it simulates the different structures, and that's on a national level. So the NATO forces in general will have faster loops, and the Warsaw Pact nations will generally have slower loops. And then there's some variation in there. Obviously, I haven't played this one, but this is somewhat like it was essentially the same as it was in Southern Storm, where you have that delay and you have to wait and you're reacting. So you do your best at first, and then after that, you're basically reacting to the situation as it unfolds, which is pretty much true to life. So this one of the great things I like about this series is that. So in terms of setting up, okay, so let's see here. Wanted to look south, so we have one down here. You don't want to exit off the map, I guess, is basically what that would indicate. So these are all of our, okay, I think, yeah. So obviously we don't want them to cross the river here. As far as I can tell, we don't have any there are no victory locations in the town itself. Right. Okay, so you can see road and rail here as well. So basically, this is where you give it orders. And then there is a way to show its, okay, so this is its line of sight, I believe. Yes. So this is its line of sight. This is what it can see, right? And you have different circles, right? As you can see, you have classify out to basically half a click, 5 No, not half a click, 5,000 meters, 5 kilometers. Then you have 3 kilometers here for identify. And you can see where they can see, basically. Inside this area, they have line of sight. Right? And if you click this one, it moves, and you can see again what they can see, the areas with numbers in them. And of course, it's all taking into account the contours of the terrain, right? We've got various elevations and so on. This one has an elevation of 2. This one will be higher. This will be an elevation of 3. And then if we went out here, it would probably be 4. And then up here maybe is also 4, I'm thinking. Yes. Right? And this might be 5 up here. Yeah. So you can see they can kind of, depending on where they're coming in, and our East German border is here, so I'm probably coming in right along this area here. Of course, this is the Fulda Gap. And the town of Fulda itself is not on here. But anyway, back to deployment. And there are keyboard shortcuts, like Control L is the shortcut to turn off the line of sight. Other things you can look at is a range ring. So their max range is 7,400 meters, right? And you can, I think you can do them both. Yeah, you can do them both. So you can see all the way out to here. That is, I can't read that. What does that say? Detect, maybe? It's hard to read. Like, I can read classify and max. I'm not sure what that says there, but that's 10,000 meters. And it's green, which I think is line of sight. Yes, and the yellow is the range. And I think that's, what is that one? That is D. So if you hit Control D, or click on it, it goes away. You also have SOP ranges. So this is the max range for firing. All right, so in terms of what we want, where we want to place, like I can move him up here if I wanted to. I'm not sure I do want to, but I could, right? Because back here, and this is, what is this? This is obstacle. Okay. What are these up here? So we have some obstacles and minefields, I guess, in general here. I don't think we have any. Where's my artillery? Is it in here? That's my HQ. You want to keep your units within range of their HQ, which I'm assuming everybody is, right? Because he's sitting here in town, and our furthest guy out is this. Well, no, I guess it's this one up here. Is he in command range? 20. Still green. All right. So what I'm going to do, in the interest of moving things along, because I've been doing a lot of talking and not a lot of action, is we'll hit start. 17 games of game resolution is about to commence. You can see here 17. This can also change during gameplay, and maybe we'll see that as well. All right, so we should perhaps see some up. Look, we've got enemy to the north. That's an interesting. That is interesting. I was not expecting that they would be across the river already. Those look like APCs. We are exchanging fire, as you can see, and it tells you what's been destroyed and so on. And as they move in and out of visibility, you can see one SPW destroyed, and we'll get a recap here at the end. And you can see we're 12 minutes in. It's scooting. We have arrows indicating the direction in which they're moving. Right, you can see this guy's coming in this direction. Now we had a missile. So we had a tank destroyed by missile. And it's also scooting. It's now changed its direction this way. Okay, so the game resolution phase is over. The American orders phase is about to begin. Now, looking here again at this, you can see 17 minutes in, right? And their loop is 26, so they still have 9 minutes before they can give new orders. Now, we do have some units that, we know that they had some units up in this area. We also know that we destroyed some of them. Now, you can look in here. So let's just go through these buttons real quick. Here's our headquarters, and it'll show us where it is, right here, right? And then you can do the things inside here. It'll tell you the staff and its log, right? It has one M1A and tells you what it is, basically, right? That's just its sit rep as of 1000. Now, if we go to the ops thing, we got a whole bunch of things, and we saw this earlier, right? And you have your sit rep here as well. And you can see where we are. This is past, this is current, and estimated future command cycles for period of 1000 to 1600. So these are all our command cycles that we're expecting to have. And then this is what we have. We have 17 recon subunits, 9 tank subunits, 12 armored carrier subunits, and 2 headquarters and 2 self-propelled artillery subunits. Okay, and then we have our intelligence window. We can close this. Threat assessment. And I didn't look at this, and I should have. And you can make this bigger too. Right? So we can make it a little bit bigger and move it around and everything. So you can see our thrust is coming down this way. They actually had some units on this side of the river, though. They must have crossed the river up here, would be my guess. So all indications show we are facing the 7th Tank Division, East German. Their commander is known to be a hard driver, and he will want to get moving fast. Expect to see at least 2 tank battalions in the first echelon. There should be a gap of about an hour between the divisional recon forces and their regimental ones. As they are coming right out from the border, this should be a textbook advance. Okay. Reported kills. You can see the recon units. We killed 3 and 1. We got a tank. And we got 2 headquarters, it looks like. So total of 4, 1 tank, 2 HQs, and the overall total of destroyed units is 7. So this unit here, the 1st of K, they destroyed 4, and 2nd of K destroyed 3. Enemy off-map assets, they don't have any. Enemy sit rep, right? This is their line, they're coming down. And then their estimated loop, of course, is, or command cycles, is 26 minutes. Threat assessment we already saw. Here's our weather forecast. It's overcast throughout the period of time we'll be playing, which is basically this one and this one. Partially this and partially that. All right. That tells us that. And then we have the PL. So these are the assets of which we do not have any, I believe. But you can also see what we do have. And you get all the information, right? This is our M1A1 Abrams main battle tank. We've got 1. This is with the command unit, of course. This is the headquarters unit. And you can twist this open, and then you got all the subunits. But it'll tell you what its maximum speed is, its front, flank, rear, and top protection, what its crew is, and when it first came into use, which was 87. It's got 120 millimeter M256 main gun, firing AP 57 AP, Range of 5,000 meters, 20 of 20 rounds. So it has not fired any of its rounds yet. And you can go through all of these. Now we know first and second of K-Troop both were involved in some combat. So their ammo should be down a little, I would think. Brand new. 1989. And it's also its value, 20 victory points. Now remember at the beginning it said our total unit value was something like 6350-ish, I think, 6346 or something, if I remember correctly. This tells you this unit is 20 of those. So relatively inexpensive, but we're talking about an infantry unit, right? And obviously this would be people, which, you know, they have some intrinsic value, I would say. Anyway. And if you click on it, you can get a better look here too, right? You can look at its weapons, its sensors, right? Got night vision sights, optical, low magnification, visible spectrum, gun sight, all that stuff, systems, and transport. And the other one is the Bradley. This is its transport. You can see its weapons, the old 25 millimeter M242 chain gun with a 6,800 meter range. Right, and that's 179 victory points. Okay, so you can go through and you can look at all of your forces here. Here's another Bradley. And just kind of, and it'll move your map around to highlight them. Here they are down here. And then 7 and 8 are our tanks. So there's one right here and the other one is down here. So if we click that, it's going to jump to this guy. All right. So should we move our men? Right? Now this guy's on a ridge. He's got good elevation. We could move him in here. Right? You could say move deliberate. You can move deliberate, assault, or move hasty. Right? If we move deliberate, then you can plot a move deliberate order by selecting up to 6 movement points. When done, click the commit button. So if we just want to move him there, that's it. And then once he's there, we're going to hold. Now you can do other things like screen, which leaves you in kind of a somewhat mobile situation where you can move more quickly. If you're trying to dig in, it's going to take you more time to, mount up and move. And I think this guy we will probably leave where he is. I may want to move my tanks, and this is my artillery unit. And we don't have any. I don't think we have any visible. Oh, we do. Let's drop something on this guy. I think we can fire a barrage of neutralizing. We're going to put it right there and hit commit. And now you can select specifically what you're firing. So we can fire HE or AP. Let's fire AP. Can we fire AP? No. We can only fire HE. Oh, you could do custom, I guess. So we'll just fire HE just for simplicity. You can say how many rounds you want to fire. We have 136. Time of impact ASAP. We want to fire it within 5 minutes. Right? So we're going to fire 30 rounds. Let's go 20. Let's fire 20 rounds ASAP, and then that, and we will, and then apply. We'll go here and apply. And I think that's okay. And then can we relocate afterwards? Fire discipline. Standoff. Relocate. After each fire mission. Alright. So we're going to fire, and then just in case they have their own artillery looking for counter battery, we're going to move. Right? Let's be safe. Better to be safe than sorry. Now, I'm going to actually take this tank, and we're going to give it a move deliberate. And we're going to move. Oh, I have to give it, move that out of the way. We have to move. Let's move here. And then here. And go commit. And then we'll use screen. Right? And it shows you the pathway it's going to take. So it's going to move up onto this ridge. Then it's going to turn, go up onto this ridge through the woods and stop right here. And then from here, if we do, get how you do line of sight from a spot. How do you do line of sight from a spot? I should have my manual for Southern Storm because I think the orders are mostly the same. Line of sight area. Yeah, but if I... Yeah, but if I do that, it's just the tank's line of sight. Okay, that's actually pretty good. Because we've got good visibility all the way out to here. So that's pretty good. So that I think is worth... That's for this guy. And I would assume this one would be somewhat similar. And there, I know there's a way you can see it, but I don't remember what it is. Okay. Well, I'm not going to worry about that right now. And let's move this guy. We'll have him move. We'll move him hasty. So this is going to be a faster move. And I'm just going to move him up to this hex right here. So we're just going to go right there and say commit. And then he's going to screen. And that's a straight. That's pretty straight. And then from there, I'm thinking he'll have a decent view of this area here. Because this elevation is 3, and this one is also 3, I think. Yes. So he should be able to see down into this hollow here, this little valley, and he should also be able to see anything that's up here on the open terrain. So if they are pushing units down on the eastern side here, we should hopefully be able to see them. Now let's move this guy as well. And we're just going to move him up the road to here. Put him in screen. And now we're going to go. Yeah, we're going to go. Oh, look at that. One PT-76B destroyed. And it's scooted. All right, now we got our fire mission over here. I'm assuming the tank's probably skedaddled out of there, but we'll drop some rounds on that hex anyway, just in case they're still there. They're going to be coming up on their order loop now. for their command cycle. They're into their second command cycle now. So they've had chances to obviously give new orders. We just destroyed another PT-76. Okay. Now, we don't know what happened. Nobody else showed up here. Okay. This guy did not move. Why did he not move? Move deliberate, starting at 10:17, and he didn't do it. Because of concealment. Void NBC. Okay. Do direct path. I want him to move. Alright. No, they didn't move yet either. Probably for the same reason. Because I didn't change their SOP. No. Direct path. Alright. Now we got some movement. There. Enemy. Right there. Okay. Zoom out a little bit. Let's check. Knocked out 11 units now. 5 tanks. Some of those PT-76s, I guess. So doing okay so far. We have not lost anybody. Okay. Close that. No. Formation 3. Okay. What's his cover here? 66 and 74. That's not so bad. All right. Hold. Right. Hold. I don't think we don't have anybody spotted right now. Okay. Pretty good defense values. $99. Multi-unit overlay. Just looking at the various views right now. Subunit inspector. Weapons. going to move again. Oh, what do we have down here? That was interesting. Trying to outflank us? See if we can get down there. We got a big gap here. But we don't have enough forces to cover everything. Let's send him out too. I'm going to move Hasty. I'm going to send you back down the road here. We'll go there, there. And I think I will put you up here. All right. Let's check his SOP actually. Move Hasty. Roads. And you can see the time will change, right? If we turn the roads off, I think they change. Maybe not. All right. Do that. Tempted to move this guy too. Move him back. But he's in a pretty good spot right now. Yeah, he's in an excellent spot right now, pretty much. I'm going to leave him there. We've got our tanks up here. And this guy is moving. I think I'm good. All right, let's roll on. Okay, there. The hell is this? Some kind of motorcycle unit? Oh, here we go. Up top, there's something going on. Okay. It's our headquarters, right? Gonna pull him back, maybe. Should I? Got those motorcycle recon units roaming around in here somewhere. What does this terrain got us? Bad mobility. What if we went up here? I'm a bit reluctant to kind of leave these guys hanging out to dry, but we've got a nice defensive setup going right here. And I kind of feel like we may have blunted some of... Yeah, he's got pretty good visibility in this area. Their visibility is not great. What about his? He's in the town, so not great. We move them here. I swear there's a way to show. I'm going to pull them back. And we're going to put them... Maybe I won't pull them back. I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to leave them there. I swear there's a way to show the terrain, but I don't see it on here. I think that's just the cover. You know that motorcycle's in here somewhere. This is when it would be nice to have some air support, right? Could fly some helicopters around and spot these guys and blast them. But we don't have that, so we cannot. Okay, I'm just going to let my previous orders carry over. We still got some enemy up in this top north area here, probing around. The tanks just fired on them. These tanks here just fired on this guy. They lost a unit here. They have 6 units here, 6 tanks. I'm assuming. They're trying to come around on us here. It looks like. Oh, they lost 2. They spotted our motorcycle friends. Just destroyed another vehicle up there. Well, they're taking a lot of losses here. A lot of losses. Oh, what is this? Just get hit by artillery? Okay. So they have a claim that they destroyed 2 BRM-1s. They also claim they destroyed an SPW 40P2. So this is very cool that you check the log and you can see what all of the units have done. We did take some incoming enemy HE barrage, so they did get hit with something, mortars perhaps. Their cover I think is decent. Yeah, 82%. So I don't see me moving them out of there right now. Now, these guys that I sent down here, We want to spot them up somewhere where they'd be in a good defensive position. Right now they are not. They're in the open. May want to cancel there. I was going to send them all the way down here in case the motorcycle was going to head down in that direction. But I don't, they're just kind of roaming, I think, looking for, trying to locate our forces. So what I may do is let's put him, what has this got for us up here? 7481. That's where we want to go. So let's move deliberate. And we're just going to go right here. And then we will have them hold. Okay. And up here, that's our HQ. Don't. Yeah, I think that's all I want to do right now. This guy's up here. What can he see? That's not terrible. If anybody was to get behind somehow, get through the gap between this one and this one, which doesn't really seem all that easy to do. It's possible, but probably not likely. All right. I don't think I'm going to make any more changes, but I see we're coming up close to an hour. So our loop went up to 19 minutes now. Theirs is at 28. So let's do one more round, and then I think I'm going to stop. We'll have covered about 2 hours of our 6-hour mission here. And we got more coming down this way. Let's zoom out. Can we zoom out? Maybe, oh, yeah, there we go. Now we have a better view. All right, knocked down another BRM. They're taking fire again. I saw something over here. There's something. There's the motorcycle. We finally nab his ass? I think we might have. We killed one. Oh, 10 tanks. We lost a tank. Okay. They pulled back. Got a lot going on up there, man. That is a fairly large force coming down this way. All things considered, based on what else we've seen so far. We are past noon now. All right. Well, whoops. I'm going to drop some mortars on these guys. So let's do that first of all. Let's barrage these guys. Commit. Then we'll move. here. And then I'm going to fire again, I think. Oh, okay, I guess I can't. All right, so from here, this time we'll go 30 rounds, 5 minutes. Actually, let's hit them fast. 3 minutes is the fastest we can go. Let's do it. And edit. That's fine. Apply. All right. Now I think this guy successfully knocked out that motorcycle, so I'm going to change his orders. And we're going to move deliberate, and we're going to go up the road. We'll cross. We'll go here, then here. And then I'm going to put them in there. And ultimately, we'll do commit. And we'll have them screen. Okay. Go. Oh, wait. I'm going to stop here. We're over an hour. I don't like to go more than an hour. We are about a third of the way through, and I took up a lot of time kind of exploring and explaining things. So I will do another video where we'll finish this. So we'll do the noon to 1600 time frame, and hopefully, wrap this up and do some damage, or continue to do some damage. As of right now, we have killed off 30 enemy units. At least that's what the claims are. This includes fallen out and destroyed units. And we've knocked out 13 tanks and 11 recon units. So that's pretty good. Pretty good. I'll take that. That's a fine day's work here. But the work is not done. So for now, I'm going to stop. We're going to sign off here. I want to thank my members. As usual, they get their shout out. Thank you guys for your support. If you would like to join them as a channel member, you can find out what you get for your membership by viewing the video, by clicking on the join button. Then you can view the video, see what you get, decide if it's for you. And if not, no big deal. But it's there if you would like to help support the channel. And earn a shout out amongst other things. Anyway, moving on. Thank you to everyone for watching. I do appreciate that. And as always, I want to thank you for doing it. And if you have any comments, questions, suggestions, etc., please put them in the comment section. I will do my best to get back to you as soon as I can. Please consider liking, sharing, and or possibly even subscribing. Even if you don't want to be a member, you can support the channel by becoming a subscriber. And if you click the little bell thing, you'll get notified when I post videos. I try to do 3 to 4 per week. I can't always keep up that somewhat frantic schedule, but I try. And yeah, so that's going to do it for this one. I will sign off now. My name's Joe. This is the Hexed and Countered channel. And until next time, as always, happy gaming.